Yeah, welcome to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host, Zacchaeus and the Fifth General. What's going on, Zacchaeus?
Oh, that episode. Very good. Yes. Yes.
I want to give a shout outs to everyone who's been patient with us. We didn't have an episode last week, but it's all good. You know, we still shaking and moving. It's all good.
Yep.
So I mean, the video that everyone's talking about, so we talking about Diddy and the Cassie domestic violence video.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to approach this? I mean, I'll let you go first, and then I'll kind of get into how I want to talk about this.
Well, I began it. I want to begin like saying that when you think that you're untouchable, and then you let power and money, especially money, because the more money only makes you who you really are. When you have the money, now you have the money, and then you came with the attitude. I'm talking about Diddy. Came with the attitude of, I can do what I want. And I always say this: whatever's in the dark will always come to light. What the Bible says, whatever's in the dark will always come to light. And I have a question, and I want people to leave a comment. If this video didn't leak, you think Diddy would have made a confession, saying he's sorry, apology, if this video didn't leak? That's a question. Now, how I looked at that video, I was disturbed by it. Like many other people was disturbed by it. And I was saying to myself, yeah, she don't deserve that. Because at the time, during 2016, all Cassie wanted to do was to sing. All she wanted to do, like many young singers that are teenagers, they have a voice that's talented. All she wanted to do was to sing. And then from a business, they got intimate. But technically, all Cassie wanted to do was to sing. You never know when you meet people what's going to be your outcome. I guess Cassie didn't know that she was going to get into a relationship with Diddy, because she was just looking to get on Bad Boy Records, Bad Boys roster, and be an artist. But they got closer, started dating, and when I seen the disturbing video that was leaked, it was very disturbing. And I'm sure that's not the only incident that happened during them two. I'm sure that's not the only incident, but that was just that footage that was leaked in that hotel. And what really, when I looked at that video, man, I just see a person that just stepped out of character. And I'm gonna say this too. You see, when you're a person that dabble in all type of substance abuse and get involved with certain substance and certain things that you take and certain substance you take, certain things that you get involved in, like certain rituals you get involved in, it takes you out of character. For example, a person that's an abuser, usually is always something. Usually they drink. Usually they have anger management problems. Usually they're taking drugs. And I don't know if Diddy or not was under the influence. That's what maybe, I don't know if that was his character of that, or he just needs anger management problems, or I don't know what the situation is. All I know, the video was disturbing, and Cassie definitely no woman deserved that, no matter what the situation is. And I always say that no lady deserved that at all. None whatsoever. And we all have to humble ourselves. We all have to humble ourselves. We cannot allow, just because we have clout and money, to make us believe that we have power and we can just do anything and we're not held accountable and we can do anything we want to do. And I think that's the problem where some of these superstars fall into. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, some would say that this that Diddy was a monster that was created by the industry because of the fact that he never did any time for the club shooting, but Shine went away.
Yes.
And his investigations linked to Tupac and Biggie's murder. You know, a lot of people say that maybe he felt untouchable, and this is one of the areas that they feel that he felt he may have been untouchable in. And you know, there's been a lot of rumors and speculation about that particular hotel video with him and Cassie, and that is, why is it getting leaked now? You know, if this happened in 2015, you know, who did he pay off the hotel? What did he do? And why now is it being leaked? And I would say that some people say when his homes got raided, that it may have been the feds who had the video and they're the ones who leaked it. Possible. We all know, as far as I'm concerned, CNN was the first one to show the footage, and then everybody else got it after that.
Yeah. Oh, CNN did that. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, it is said that the statute of limitations on assault has expired on assault charge. But here's the other thing: when you look at the video, many people have observed this. That yes, he hit her. That was wrong. But he also took a hold of her possessions when she was trying to leave. And then he also dragged her by her clothes. Some would say, and they said there's more footage to that clip. What we saw is a clip, but they're saying it's longer than that because it goes from it going back into the room. I haven't seen that footage. I haven't seen the extended footage. So what they're trying to say is, well, would that count as kidnapping? Because of the fact that she was trying to flee from him, but then he grabbed her to pull her back. And those are the things that grabbed her in her possessions. So those are the things that they're looking into. But in order for him to get any type of charges, I would think that they would need Cassie to participate. Now, part of the case, that civil case that he had with her, which was separate from this, although she did put in her memoirs or whatever that this is what she suffered going through with the relationship with Diddy. But we got to keep in mind she was an employee on the Bad Boy. And this is what happens when you mix business with pleasure. They should have never dated. Or if they dated, she should have never been signed to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then I also want to keep in mind, she was with Ryan Leslie first.
Oh.
And
the singer, yeah.
He was a different, singer, producer. Ryan Leslie, according to what he says, they had a good relationship. But grass green on the other side method. Sometimes that happens. There's always a man who there's always a man who's bigger, better, and richer than you, I guess, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. I won't dwell on that too much, but I may have to get into that conversation on a different show.
Grass is green on the other side, yeah.
Right. They think it's green on the other side.
Yeah, they think
it's greener.
Yeah.
So we see this footage. They were saying that the feds could build a case around that particular situation because kidnapping doesn't have a statute of limitation. So, but they have to prove that. That's the thing. They would have to prove that. And that's up to the plaintiff or whoever you would call them, stayed in that case. But I wonder if they need Cassie's participation. At this point, Cassie's married, has children, and maybe she felt like she wanted to move on from this, but this puts attention back on Cassie now because everybody's checking up on Cassie and saying, yeah, you was right this whole time. And I kind of want to go back to our earlier conversations this season on Diddy. We started this season with an episode called Money or Justice.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we were trying to talk about Cassie's motive in this Diddy thing. But I also stated that I didn't really believe any side. I was just saying that a person has a right to defend himself against the accuser.
Mm-hmm.
We have video now. So as we can see, Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, where is that, Keys?
Well, the proof is in the pudding. When that video was leaked, I said the proof. Now, there's no allegations. All allegations are off. The proof is in the pudding because people seen that footage. Everybody, the world seen that footage. If you don't know, you gotta like what one of the radio host show said again on the radio show, on New York City radio show called The Black 94.7. Said you had to be living on a rock if you didn't see that footage. It was leaked to the masses. And it just brought me back to a time of abuse, how people go through abuse, and what some women deal with abuse, especially some celebrities. It brought me back to Ike and Tina Turner.
Yeah. It
brought me back to certain celebrities that abuse, Dre and what's the girl with the tiny voice?
Michelle.
Yeah.
D. Barnes is the other one that,
Yeah. So it just brings me back to celebs that abuse their significant others or the people that they dated. And it just brings me back to that. Now, the one question I do have, now I know I've heard one or two people talking about this, that, how come Diddy is not being threatened with prison, but yet Bill Cosby went to prison? And I thought about that, and I said, yeah, that's a good question.
Different case.
It's a different case, different situation.
Yeah,
different situation, different case. I don't know what maybe certain things will come up, but maybe the rules and regulations are different in California compared to New York. And because I know in New York that if you could do a crime for it, like back in the 80s, 1980, 1979, 1980, 1979. I know somebody personally that was arrested 1979, 1980 for doing a crime in 1979, 1980 and still serving time. So
we both know that person.
Yeah. So in California, it might be different because this was in a California hotel, I think in 2016 that they were staying in.
Yeah.
And maybe the regulations are different. Maybe the laws and rules are different when it comes to that was in the past. That's a long time. And so because it was a long time, then they're not going to charge him.
It's because of the crime.
Yeah.
So because of the particular crime.
Right.
So we're talking assault. We're not talking murder. That's different.
Exactly. That's different. Yeah. Yeah. So I believe, this is what I strongly believe, that Cassie wants to get behind this and move on. It's just all these things are just popping up against Diddy. And when you have a arrogant attitude and a narcissistic attitude, the arrogant attitude, the Lord allows things to happen to you to put you in a humbling position. The Lord allowed things to happen to you to put you in a humbling position. And I think at this moment, this time, when he has businesses pulling away from him, people not really
He pulled away from them because he knew. I think he knew things were happening. So that's why he sold all of his Revolt shares.
Oh, he did that. Yes, all his Revolt shares.
He did that long before this tape got leaked.
Right. Because he knew that things were just, it's like an avalanche effect. It keeps tumbling and tumbling. More things are coming out. So the day before his homes got raided is when they announced to the media that he sold all of his Revolt shares. Wow. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, because he knew that certain things was going to go down. So he prepared for it. Let me tell y'all something. The music industry is a very fickle business. Very fickle. The industry is a very fickle business. And if you dive too deep into it and you sell your soul and you allow it to consume you, it definitely does change your character. In some cases. It does change your character. And maybe it changed Diddy's character. It probably did. You seen the band? I seen the band. That show that came on back in the days. Was it back in the days? Early 2000s. Early 2000s, yeah. And it just changes your character. So I always say this, man. People out there, know what you're getting into before you get into it.
Yeah.
Because at one time in my life, I wanted to be part of the industry so bad, to a point every night I used to go to bed dreaming about it, being part of the industry, connected with other artists, just performing, maybe not going to all those parties those Diddy parties. I didn't get that far, but I wanted to be part of I wanted to be signed to the industry. And now, and I'm gonna say this too. Cat Williams is right. Everything is coming out. This is gonna be a year of revelation. And everything that's in the dark came out. Everything that was in the dark came out. And he was right. He was right, because they have artists, they have people like Jaguar Wright. She's going in. You see, I seen Jaguar Wright on YouTube talk about Diddy, talk about this, she's just revealing so many things. She's just coming up with so many stories. And then P. Diddy also has bodyguards. I think this guy called Dean Jean. I don't know if you know him. He's coming up with some stories. He got some stories that he's leaking. That's Diddy's former bodyguard. Mm-hmm. And he's getting a lot of views. You can catch his story. You can catch his stories on Diddy's parties on YouTube. He's coming up with some stuff. He got another bodyguard coming up with some stuff that's actually sharing some things on Diddy parties. He had some crazy wild parties. And see, we as people that's not in that secular world, deep down industry, we don't know. But there's a lot of things that went on in those parties that we don't know. And I just hope this. I just pray and hope this, because even I said it on the show I did about abuse.
Word of the day.
I just say, I hope Diddy turns himself to the Lord and just realize that the world ain't got your back like that. The world can't cover you like that. I think Michael Jackson realized that before he passed. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson. Those who don't know, I'm talking about Michael Jackson. And they used to call him Wacko Jacko, and I didn't like that. Personally, I didn't like that because the world lifts you up and praises you on one tongue, and then the same tongue brings you down with the same tongue. So I just pray that Diddy, it was a harsh, teachable moment for him. And you never know what's going to humble you. You never know what's going to come your way to humble you. You never know what's going to come your way to humble you. That's why I always tell people, don't be so arrogant. Don't be so narcissistic and arrogant and think that you're untouchable, because you never know what could be lurking around your corner. You never know, because you think you get away and you do something and you're not going to get caught. Trust me, when you think you're not going to get caught, it may not come out today, but someday and sometime, whatever's in the dark will come to light. Whatever you hide it'll be shine. There's going to be a light shined on it, because you would never think that a person that brought out so many artists. Well, Diddy brought out a lot of artists. And I remember watching an award show. I forgot which one award show. And they recognized Diddy on that award show. Was it the Grammys? Was it the Hip Hop Awards? I believe it was the Hip Hop Awards. And they were honoring him because he did so much work, so much.
Yeah, that was the regular BET Awards.
Regular BET Awards. And
he got a Lifetime Achievement Award.
He got the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I was, in a way, I was proud of him, because because he did put in the work. He put in the work. He brought out a lot of artists, timeless, and the music continues. He helped a lot of people out. And I admire that. And he was in position to help a lot of people out, to get their career started. I don't know what. There's no record of no humanitarian work that he did. I don't know. I know Michael Jackson did a lot of humanitarian work, a lot of feed the children, We Are the World promotion. I know Michael Jackson did that. Michael Jackson was, God bless him, rest his soul. But Diddy was in that position to help, to be a philanthropist and be a philanthropist and help a lot of people out. He was in that position. And I say this, don't hurt people, help people, reach out to people. He had the resources. I don't know if he was starting to help out. And I admire people that help out in their community. But that video right there, it just damaged his image right there. He would never ever be looked the same again. To people, even on like Charlamagne the God said a lot of stuff on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he gave him Donkey of the Day. He said a lot of stuff, and I agree with him. I agree with Charlamagne the God. Sometimes when you're put into a position where you feel that you're on top of the world, but you abuse the position that God has blessed you with. You abuse the position that God has blessed you with, and you abuse it. And you get arrogant. You get beside yourself. And you think you put yourself on the pedestal until the red carpet gets pulled right from underneath you. When you're arrogant, so it doesn't pay to be arrogant, pompous, narcissistic. It don't pay. It doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. And it just brought down his character a whole lot. Diddy will never be looked the same. He changes his name. Remember, he used to change his name a lot. And Charlamagne the God mentioned that his brother just changed his name so many times to cover up who he really is. He just changes his name. And it just really just damages character, because when people talk about Diddy, they will always remember that. People don't remember the good thing they do.
People always remember the negative that you do. They always do. They always do. They always do. They always remember the negative that you do, to a point where I remember, and I'm going to say this too. I know I don't want to bring it up, but it just reminds me. Back in 1998, a group artists, Milli Vanilli, Rob and Fab, they were humiliated when they were performing. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh. And then when they were performing, the tape was skipping, and then people realized
they were
that
lip singing,
and they were and then when you dig into their whole persona, their whole story, they had singers that was really singing, but they had the image, and because
blame it on the rain.
Yeah. Hey, you remember that song? Wait a minute, Jay. How you know that song? You were that boy.
I was a child.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But my point is, man, that was it. Rob could never get over the ridicule that people remembered him. They were the only group I knew that was the Grammy was stripped from them. And Rob, because of what people said about Milli Vanilli, Rob couldn't handle it, and I believe he committed suicide back in 1998.
I hold the industry responsible for that, because the industry should have never did that. Because keep in mind, that's the record label's fault for doing that. You got these two men who probably couldn't sing themselves,
right?
But you changed their lives by giving them a deal,
right?
And they probably had what you call career aspirations,
yes.
But they just wasn't as good enough. So they said, you know what? We like the image, but we do need we got to help their singing. And back then, we didn't have the way auto-tune is now.
Right.
If Milli Vanilli would have came out today,
yes,
with the auto-tune technology we have now,
oh, forget about it.
They probably would have got by.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have to hold the record labels partly responsible, partly, not all the way, but partly responsible for that. Once all things considered, if that makes sense.
Yes, he couldn't handle it, and the thing is that when you do something, people always remember the negative first. They always bring out they always think about the negative thing first.
Well, can I say this?
Yeah.
Back with the Diddy and Cassie situation.
Yeah.
The negative is important in this particular thing.
Yes, it is.
Because we're talking about something that is of domestic violence or violence in general.
Right.
Diddy has had a history of fights. You know, him storming Steve Stout's office, and at the time, Steve Stout was Nas's manager over Diddy's scene in the "Hate Me Now" video.
I remember the "Hate Me Now." Brother, hate me now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because there's a version of the video where Diddy is on the cross next to Nas, and Diddy saw it, although he participated in it, but as he looked at it, he felt convicted because he was like, you know what? I kind of feel like I'm making a mockery. So I don't think I want to do this. I understood Nas's perspective. Nas was trying to say that Nas, from an imagery standpoint, I understand why he did the Jesus on the cross thing. Because what he was trying to say is that those who he was for hated him so much that they wanted him dead.
Crucified.
So he
yeah.
right. So Nas used that as a metaphor. Nas was not calling himself Jesus.
Right.
But he was basically saying, this is how bad hate is. Look what it did to Jesus historically. That's Nas's artistic approach.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Jesus was playing Diddy may have been playing the role of probably Barabbas on the cross. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what was Diddy's original part to play in that part of the video. But anyway, let me get to the point. He champagne bottles over Steve Stout's head. That's how they fought. I'm not laughing at it, but I'm just saying, this is what happened. He's got into a fight with he allegedly got into a fight with J. Cole. They said he got into a fight with Drake. Diddy has gotten into fights.
Right.
So we don't think he's gonna fight women the same way he fights men.
Right.
Not everyone is thinking that.
Yeah.
The thing is that you have people out here claiming that everybody knew that Diddy was violent towards women except for Cassie until it happened. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you just knew. It's one thing for you to hear rumors and to speculate that somebody did something. But if you didn't see Diddy assaulting another woman in the past, then you can't say he's a woman beater. And I question those people that say, well, he was always a woman beater. But you're talking now? And you stood by him and you remained his friend for all these years? Oh, no, I don't respect that. Let me tell you something. If I found out, and this happened in high school, I'm not going to say his name because he has repented since then. Like, truly repented, and I've seen it. I knew of a guy who used to beat on his high school girlfriend. Well, here's the thing. I never saw it. But I knew of, meaning there was a situation of witnesses that have told me that they've seen it happen once in front of them, but the girl kept telling them, oh, he slapped me, right? Once I found out that there may have been some truth the way he did, I no longer associated with him. And I ordered the woman who was getting assaulted, because I didn't know her, but her friends, to have her say something, speak up. Somebody should help her. I said, I don't know the woman. I can't talk to her.
Right.
But like I said, at the time, I didn't know.
Right.
I saw the brother later on in my high school years.
Yeah.
And he ended the relationship, and he admitted that was something that he did, and he apologized to her. And, the brother saw the brother at church. I was 16 at the time, going on 17. At the time when I met him, we were both 14 years old. So, but you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you have people coming out, and you mentioned this earlier. People are talking now, not because they feel that it's the right thing to do, although it is the right thing to do, but I also think people are coming out now because they're trying to get ahead of the accusations and accomplices conversation. And this is what I mean by that. Diddy has many friends. Okay? Pretty much all of them have been silent because they're waiting to see how things go. Usually when somebody, without a shadow of a doubt, knows that that person did not do what they're accused of, they immediately come out and say that's not true. Right. You notice that's not the case now, right?
Nobody's coming out and saying that's not true. No.
Right. So now that the video has come out,
yeah,
you have some people now saying yo, you know what? That was wrong. I denounce him. And then they tell on themselves when they say, you know what? At such and such year, I saw him smack Cassie and throw up against the wall and
no.
So now the media has every right to now say, you saw that? Okay. What'd you do? They'll probably say, I mind my business. And then they'll say, well, how come you didn't come to Cassie's defense when she was trying to tell us that she was getting beat on? Now they have to defend that. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Now they have to defend that. You know, I like the answers that Fat Joe gave and Jadakiss J's.
Tell me what they said.
Jadakiss said, just pray simply. And I love it. Jadakiss, big up to Jadakiss. He said, yo, just pray for him. Pray for him. That was his only comment. Simple, straight to the point. Fat Joe said, man, that was my friend for 30 years. That was my friend for 30 years. And I know he's going through. You know he's going through a situation. That was my friend for 30 years. You know, I just hope that he can probably get up from this one.
Did any of them say pray for Cassie?
No. I said it on my show. I said pray for Cassie.
Yes, you would. Yes.
Yeah.
Reasonable people like me and you.
Yes.
Would want prayer for her too, since she was the victim.
She was a victim. She needs healing too. She didn't deserve what she got. She did not deserve what she got. And I say,
I'm sure this video triggered. I'm sure this video triggered her memories of the past.
Yeah, it did. It most likely did.
So I want people checking up on Cassie, man. I know a lot of the media I'm hearing is a lot of paparazzis checking up on Diddy, not necessarily checking up on him because they care about him, but they're nosy about his whereabouts. But I need people to check up on Cassie.
Yeah.
She's the one who got beat.
Yeah. That wasn't true that.
And I know a lot of women are gonna say, and this is no disrespect to women. I know a lot of women are gonna say, I believed her when she said, where are those men that said that they didn't believe her? I want to answer that right now. Zacchaeus, I'm gonna let you get the mic after this, and then you could take your time.
Okay.
I want to answer this question by saying this. There are many women who have lied. As men, we deal with people with logic and knowledge and rationality. Whereas most women are taught to deal with people with emotion and intuition, which is not even a real thing. Men don't operate like that. Or shouldn't. Because this is how you get stuff wrong when you do operate on emotion and you don't operate on logic. The thing is that whether man or female, because it's always word against each other. But if we weren't there, we can't say that's what the man did. There are rumors coming out that Cassie may have put hands on Diddy too. Once again, that's an accusation that we have no proof of. So I can't hold her feet to the fire because of that, because I don't know that. I only know what was shown.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that yes, in this particular situation, because we had video, Cassie was right. And because of Diddy's prior statement to the day before that video got leaked, Diddy was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's her side and his side of the truth, and then there's the truth. That video was the truth. And him apologizing, maybe not to Cassie, but to the people or whatever, or the public, That was his admission of said guilt, because at that point you can't still deny it. What you gonna say? That wasn't you. That was clearly you.
Right.
You know, and if it wasn't you, then you would say, "No, that's not me. That's computer. That's AI, whatever." Right? But he didn't say that. He admitted that he was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He said he admitted that he was wrong when he did it. So he's been living with this since 2016 or prior to that.
Right.
Because he's been in a 10-year plus relationship with Cassie. So we don't know when the violence started. Also, we don't have proof of him being violent with other women, because that's the next accusation he has. They're trying to contact J-Lo because they're asking her, did Diddy hit you when y'all were together? They're asking Carisha, aka Young Miami, if Diddy's hitting her. They're asking Justin's mother, his first son. They're asking him they're asking her if he beat her. Kim Porter's gone. You can't ask Kim Porter nothing.
Yeah.
But allegedly, they're trying to say that he broke Kim Porter's nose and that he cheated on Cassie. He cheated on Kim Porter with Cassie, and that Cassie was compliant and laughed at the disrespect and the verbal abuse that Diddy had against Kim Porter when they were together. We have no proof of that.
Right.
Well, I don't.
Right.
You know? So, for the women out here attacking male-led podcasts, not all women, but those particular women, understand that I didn't call her a liar, and I didn't call Diddy a liar. I just didn't know, because I wasn't there. And I still will say to this day, said it earlier in the show, you have the right, any person has the right to defend themselves against their accuser. Zach, here's the mic is yours.
And that's true. When I look at his apology, Diddy's apology, and I know and I thought it was coming from I believe he was coming from a somewhat sincere place. And I agree with people when they said that he didn't mention Cassie's name.
They said by law he can't because of the civil suit.
No, people
she can't mention his name and he can't mention her name. They're saying that's in the disposition.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And people are going off with that.
Yeah.
But my thing is that, to me, he was humble enough to put out an apology and admitted when he was wrong. And he admitted when he was wrong. God forgives you, but people don't forgive you.
Yeah.
He admitted when he was wrong. And he admitted that, listen, it was a mistake. He said he feels disgusted about it then, and he feels disgusted about it now. And we all fall. All of us fall. We fall short. All of us make mistakes and fall short. But we gotta think before we do, because I don't like going around putting hands on people, and that's not my personality. It's not my character. I don't like that. And for you to do that is like what I'm trying to get is that some mistakes you can only apologize, but you can't correct. Sometimes you can make a mistake and whenever you try to make it, you try to correct it, but it was just too late. So when people see that video, that footage, in their minds, the damage is already done, which is true. Damage already done. And some mistakes you make, you can't turn back from. So, like I said before, God forgives. People do not forgive. And like what you told me before, Fifth, he's done. He's done.
At minimum, his career is over.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I want the context. I'm sorry. The reason why I said it is because even if they may not be able to incriminate him, but at minimum, his career is over because nobody wants to be associated with that.
Right.
At the detriment of their own affiliation and careers themselves.
Right. Exactly.
So this is why people are stepping away. But yeah, Go ahead, Zacchaeus. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, right. The damage is already done. Some mistakes you cannot correct. Some mistakes you cannot. When you make a mistake, that's why as men, we cannot let emotions get the best of us. Because sometimes you do things and you live to regret it. Now, I'm sure he lived to regret it. You can tell by his apology, he lived to regret it. Sometimes you do things and you live to regret it. Sometimes you say things, but you regret it. You do things and there's no turning back. There's no point of no return because the damage is already done. You can't correct it. And when it comes to physical abuse, you can't correct that. Can't correct it. You can't even turn back your hand of time with that. You already put your hands on her. The damage is done. The damage is done. People will always remember that. Always remember that. Like I said before, and I say it again. This is time that Diddy humble himself and turn his life over to the Lord. Because only God has forgiven you. The world is cold. Business is shut. A lot of things closing on you. Business is shutting down. People turning their backs on you. So like you said, Fifth, nobody wants to associate with that. So it's done. It's done. Yeah.
I want to name some. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think somebody was telling me that they might even take the key. I think he gave him the keys to the city. They were thinking about pulling that away from him. Something like that I heard.
The mayor of New York City.
Yeah, something like that I heard. They were considering pulling the keys away from him.
How the heck do you do that? First of all, nobody takes that serious. No, the key to the city doesn't open no doors. Heck out of here.
What is that about keys to the city? Okay.
Yeah, he's just anyway. So I want to bring up some incidents that have been caught on video.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is the right time to talk about double standards, but I will. Football player Ray Rice.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
His career was over after that.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Although, him and his wife were basically fighting each other, they both hit each other. He just did more damage by punching in her face like that. All right. Dana White. His wife was wilding out, I guess, and then he slapped the taste out of her mouth after he got hit. He still has his career. Solange.
Yeah.
Assaulting Jay-Z in the elevator.
Yeah.
She still has her career.
Yeah.
He didn't hit her.
Mm-mm.
That's all I can think of right now. Zacchaeus, your response to that?
Double standard. Yeah. It depends who's doing it. You see how Rice, NFL play, lost everything. He lost everything.
Yeah, he was no longer part of the Ravens after that.
Yeah, he lost everything. I mean, literally everything.
Still married. Still married.
To her?
Yes, they're still married. He got counseling. They both got counseling. They still got married.
Yeah. Wow.
And had more kids. But no team wanted to sign him.
Not no more after that. No.
Not after that.
Nope. Solange. Well, they figured that she's a woman. That's what they looked at. She's a woman
Uh-huh.
hitting the dude,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that. He's a man. He could take it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Even if she assaulted him, that's it.
Yep.
And she said after that she still released records. Industry still pushed her. Still released music. Still released records. Double standard, but that's how the world is, man. Yeah. Double standard, but it depends on who do it. You know, it depends on who is the abuser.
Now, Chris Brown, there's no video of Chris Brown and Rihanna's fight.
No, there's no video.
But Rihanna did admit that she had been violent with him, and they both had been violent with each other.
Right.
So this is why neither of them did any time.
Right.
But if there was video,
oh, forget it.
Yeah, Chris wouldn't be who we know him today.
No, he'd be out the industry big time.
He would.
Yeah, he'd be out the industry. Yeah, he won't be still making records. No, he won't be still. He'd be out the industry. No. Yeah.
So I'm not making a case for Diddy to be redeemed like them. That's not up to me.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that yes, there is a double standard, but right now I think people should really just focus on this. Bring this to attention. Domestic violence is wrong of any sort. Yes. Whether it be a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man.
Yes.
And it's not taken as serious when a woman does it because of the example that I just gave about Solange.
Right.
Although Solange was not, Beyonce is the wife of Jay-Z, but Solange is Beyonce's sister, and she was violent with him on behalf of her sister while her sister stood right there while that was happening.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is that how much restraint is someone supposed to have when you're assaulting them? It's not going to be much restraint. And so what I'm saying is this, is that we know it's a double standard. So I just want to tell the fellas, yo, man, if she walking away from you, let her go, man. Just let her go. Diddy would have not been in trouble if he would have just let her leave.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this too, to the fellas and even to the ladies too. If you have to put your hands on each other, you don't no longer need to be in a relationship.
Nope.
If you have to put your hands to get your point across to your significant other, there's no need for y'all to be in a relationship. If it's that toxic, that abusive and that toxic and that tumultuous, there's no need for you to be in a relationship. Because if he's not changing, or vice versa, she's not changing, and let's say if, depending on who's doing most of the abuse and the physical abuse, and he feels that I don't need to change, I don't want to change, I'm okay the way I am, and he's not humbling himself to have anger management counseling to understand that, okay, I have an issue and have a problem. I have anger management problems. Or vice versa. She has anger management problems. And you feel that you don't need to change. You need to reconsider the relationship. You don't need to stay to see what's going to happen next. You don't need to, because if there's no change, it only gets worse. And sometimes God shows you signs and we fail to acknowledge them, or we just don't want to acknowledge them because we're complacent and we're comfortable. And some women, I'm not going to say not all, some women are comfortable in certain lifestyles. And if that man is rich, they'll stay. They'll take the emotional abuse. They'll take the possibly physical abuse just so they can stay comfortable in their lifestyle. Why? Because you're dependent on his money. You're dependent on his money. You'll always be in a position to stand on your own tool, make your own money, so you don't have to be put in a position where you have to depend on somebody's finances. And if you see signs, you see certain things, it's how you know. Ladies, if you see a man that's have anger management problems, he's checking your phone, he's insecure, always checking your phone every minute. If you're away from him, he's accusing you of cheating. He's calling you 7 times a day to see where you're at. Sometimes he's following you. I know people that went through this. I know what I'm talking about because there's people that I know in the past that went through this. Following you, like spying on you to find out where you're at, where you're going, if you're not in his presence. Those are red flags. And those are some red flags that can lead to abuse if you stay with him. Or, not ladies too, if you're overly possessive over a guy, overly possessive, you can't go nowhere, if you speak to a woman, you're getting crazy, if he just, maybe that was his cousin he was speaking to, and you almost scratch his eyes out and say, who the hell you talking to? That's listen, Al, you hurt me. That's my cousin. You see signs and you ignore them, it's on you. God show you signs and you ignore them and you stay anyway. But he gives you opportunity to leave. You don't have to stay. If you value your peace, you do not have to stay in an abusive relationship. If you value your peace, because not everybody values peace, fifth. Not everybody does. Some women love tumultuous relationships. Let's face it. Some men love tumultuous relationships. Let's face it. Some people welcome drama in their life. Some women get bored if they don't have drama in their life. You're boring. They just feel like a fish out of water if they don't have drama in their life. They have some people like that.
Yeah, those people are lost and broken.
Yeah. And they feel that they need to have drama in their life, or they feel they need to have some kind of person following them, calling you 7 times a day. Just, if you see signs like that, ladies and gentlemen, go your way. Do not stay. Don't take that abuse, because it doesn't get better. It gets worse. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to end the show. Zacchaeus, let them know where they can reach you, man.
Yo, you can reach me on at Zacchaeus Music on Instagram, Wayne Backus Gospel on Instagram, also on Facebook, Wayne Backus 167 on Facebook, also on TikTok, Wayne Backus Gospel on TikTok as well. Yeah.
Y'all can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right. This was another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth saying peace and God bless. See y'all next.